Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of the best, if not the best, cartoon to ever exist. The animation smoothly flowing like water, the characters and lore strong and compact like earth. The development and storytelling, some of the best in cartoon history, giving everyone who watched a fire within their hearts. The music, a spectacle on the ears as it went through the air. And if you got what I did just now, yes, you can unsubscribe now. This show blew everyone's minds out of the water with so many memorable moments and little to no bad points. Avatar: The Last Airbender was truly a show to behold, and then a movie came out for it and...
No, we don't even speak of that movie. That movie was trash. The names weren't even used correctly, the choreography was bad, and the storytelling was just trash altogether. Ugh.
I agree. Also, I hope YouTube doesn't copyright the music here. Anyways, Yaya, since you're here, I guess you can help me out with this review. Avatar: The Last Airbender had plenty of games following this series, yes, even the horrible movie. It is understandable given the popularity of this series. The game's released for basically every major console and handheld at the time. We'll be looking at the GameCube, PS2, Wii, and Xbox versions. Yes, there are a lot of versions of this game. Again, it released everywhere, and we're not even looking at the handheld ones.
While this sounds good, a lot of video game adaptations tends to mess things up compared to the original counterpart by a lot. And considering that the movie adaptation was complete and utter garbage, we're just hoping that this game doesn't follow the same path. We'll be deciding today where Avatar: The Last Airbender, the video game, stands between the movie and the show it's based off of. Katara and Sokka travel with Aang to the North Pole to learn waterbending alongside him. Well, Sokka doesn't... he can't bend. While Aang is helping out the village, they are suddenly attacked by the Fire Nation and they capture Katara. Before Aang and Sokka are able to save her, they discover that the Fire Nation has created a machine that is able to do powerful firebending. They quickly follow Zuko's ship to infiltrate a prison and rescue Katara. They also discover a mysterious girl who was captured as well, Leon, but before they have time to walk to her, she vanishes. The trio then follows a map to an earthbending training camp to try and find out what is going on with these machines and to put a stop to them. They then find out that they need to head to Amashu to learn more about the machines, so they can combat them. After learning about an island, King Bumi then directs them to the Four Paws Island. They soon find Lien, and she reveals herself as the maker and the creator of the machines. She says that she created the machines to create peace between the nations, because she says that Aang won't complete his training by the time that Sozin's comet comes, and even offers Aang to work with her. Aang, of course, denies this offer.
After continuing her reign but getting cornered by the team, she reveals that she is working with Benders to end the war between the four divisions and create unity. It'd probably be preferable if you didn't go around doing it through mass genocide, but you know. Aang then harnesses his avatar powers and takes down Lian's machine. This take on the original Avatar story is actually pretty interesting since it uses the original story as a very small step towards what the original content provides, and it does feel like an Avatar story. The story doesn't really get too good until the last third of the game, but as a non-canon story for Avatar, it works pretty well. In fact, I'm pretty sure someone in The Legend of Korra actually does the same exact thing, so there might even be some potential influence from this as well. All of the voice actors from the show returned to voice their respective characters in this game, which is understandable given the fact that this game came out while the show was still airing, and it's amazing that they have returned. They all do fantastic jobs as to be expected, and the characters act just as they do in the show. It is a little bit downgraded though, mainly because there's not that many cutscenes in the game, but at the same time, the game does express their character traits whenever acceptably possible. Character models aren't all that great though. In regular gameplay, they are serviceable, when in cutscenes, sometimes the amount of borderline on the models can backfire and make them look really ugly, especially when it's from a distance. I think they were trying to go for a look that would make the game look similar to the show, which is what plenty of other games have done like Dragon Ball FighterZ, but it just doesn't work here because it's so bad sometimes. Now of course, yes, they didn't have the technology for it, but again, it does not look all that great.
You are able to control Aang, Sokka, Katara, and Hara as you go through the world defeating enemies and completing quests. Each character has stats for their health, chi, armor, and other stats that can affect how much damage a character does. During your travels, you you will find equipment and accessories that you can equip to give the group members better stats and passive abilities like health and chi regeneration or reduce prices in stores.
Each character has a basic attack that can be upgraded into a bigger combo. You can also block enemy attacks to minimize the damage you take. You aren't able to block everything though, as large attacks will just need to be flat out avoided. Every character has advanced moves that consumes their ki. You're able to use an advanced move when you have put at least 1 point towards it and have it equipped in one of 4 slots. Getting points for these moves as well as a combo requires leveling up. You get experience by beating enemies and doing quests. Putting 2 or 3 points towards a move adds additional effects such as increased damage or duration of that ability. You're also able to redistribute these points whenever you want in the character screen, so you're never tied down to anything that you equip. If you don't want to fight enemies or need to avoid enemies in general, you are able to turn invisible, somehow, for a period of time. During that time, enemies won't notice you and you don't have to worry about collision triggering anything either. You aren't able to do this if you are already in a fight with enemies. While traveling, the character you're playing as might have a question mark appear over their head. Each character has a special ability tied to their element: air, water, earth, and boomerang. I know boomerang's not an element, shut up, it was supposed to sound funny. It probably doesn't now that I'm saying this. If you find a location, you can use a special ability to open areas or reveal hidden chests. Doing so requires a few well-timed and appropriate button presses. You can find out which person you need to use by the environment around them.
Every chapter has a bunch of side quests that you are able to do to help get additional experience and better equipment and accessories. These include fetch quests, playing a board game called Four Kingdoms, and also collecting some items. You can control Momo to get particular items for a quest in every chapter of the game. These items are ones you can only get as Momo though, so you'll have to be on the lookout when needed. In various towns, there are shops where you can buy items, equipment, and accessories and synthesize items to help you on your journey. Synthesizing items can be used for crafting stronger equipment, accessories, and items. You will find plenty of synthesis material from chests inside shops and sometimes after defeating enemies.
Each playable character feels unique and the roles they play are cleverly done as well. For example, Katara is a healer who doesn't have much attack power, which correlates well with the show, and Aang has a lot of moves used to confuse enemies or knock them down. The customization you can do with the character's moves are also really nice so that you're able to change them on the fly whenever you want. The amount of customization that you can do with all of the characters is really good as well. The equipment and advanced moves that you get can be set to how any person wants to play that particular character, and the fact that you get to play as all these characters instead of just Aang, which could have easily ended up happening, is something that I appreciate.
There are good amounts of side quests to do, and they often reward you greatly for going out of your way to accomplishing the task with experience and items. A lot of them also tend to be on the way to the mandatory missions, so some of them don't require too much time to be dedicated towards them. By the way, Momo is actually extremely convenient to use. You can go back to the group whenever you want to instead of having to make your way back. And if the group gets into a fight, they'll defend themselves. It's better if you actually do the combat though, but they do at least defend themselves.
There's hardly any music in the overworld. It's only in battle in certain areas like towns, and even then, there can sometimes just be no music. Now, games have done this, but the lack of music in this game makes it feel really boring, especially during battles. This can even happen during boss fights. There are sound effects of things in the environment, but that doesn't really replace the lack of music in between areas. It also doesn't help that most of the music in the game isn't even a minute long. While they are respective of the music from the show, it still manages to make this game feel really boring, and moments that are supposed to be tense don't feel that way because of the lack of music. The Game Boy Advance version honestly has better music than this, and I really do not feel like that should be the case. Aang also has a stupidly broken move that makes the game really easy once you get it. If you get to the final segment of the offensive section of Aang's advanced moves, you unlock the Tornado ability, which does 3 hits that take up almost the entire screen and does a bunch of damage that kills almost everything with one button press. And if they don't die, there are few hits from death. This is even useful against bosses. You're able to get this ability at level 11 at the earliest if you put all of Aang's points towards the offensive section, and you would get to this level between halfway and 2/3 through the game, depending on how many side quests you do. This means the other half or the last third of the game is a breeze and you get free experience for doing almost nothing.
I'ma keep it real with you, Chief. Zuko kinda useless. Zuko does almost nothing for the entire game. I understand that he's not the main villain in the story, however all he does is get Katara captured. Considering that he's trying to capture the Avatar during this time, you would think he'd have a little bit more involvement, but you really only see him about 4 times the entire game, and half of that isn't even a confrontation with him. You never even have a boss fight against him. He feels just there, and he ain't really that important throughout the whole game.
Subtitles go way too fast in cutscenes. I put them on specifically to see them while people are saying the words.
The long journey since then has led us to the North Pole. Although Sokka and I sometimes dream of reuniting with our father,
there's honestly no reason they should go as fast as they do. Thankfully, it's not like anything important or anything, and me having subtitles on is mainly just a preference. People who don't even have the subtitles on at all don't really need to care about this. Using the special moves are a little strange sometimes. There are some times where they make sense, and then other times where they don't. There's even a whole segment where you play as just Aang, but he's able to do almost everything just fine, which does not make sense, since at this point in the show, he hasn't even mastered waterbending yet. Not only that, but anytime before then, when you tried doing this, he had a problem with it. It's whatever though, because you can just switch between characters until you find out what works, so it's not like it takes up a lot of time to do these. This game could have been a lot better. The game only gets really good in the later half, but most of the game before that is really boring to get through, because there are not that many cutscenes and the lack of music sometimes make it even worse.
While there are a lot of clever things about this game that are interpreted from the show, like the character roles and their overall involvement in the story, there are still other things that bring it down, like graphical issues and the amount of time you spend to get to the really good parts of the game.
It's hard to live up to the greatness that is Avatar: The Last Airbender, but even then, this game doesn't live up too much to what the series is all about. No dull moments and always entertaining. Anyways, Yaya, you've taken the fact that you're a Danganronpa character pretty well now.
What the heck? Bro, what? No, what?
You just noticed the yellow jacket and pink hair?
Hello? What? Why did this happen?
You say that like I should know the answer to that.
What do you mean you don't know? It's your channel.
Look, it just happened one day and I've been going with it ever since. Wouldn't be the first time I've had an avatar change anyways.
Bro, how do I leave?
Aren't you the one that bursted into my video? How did you get here?
So, I kinda just broke the internet to get here?
Just go back to your channel, Yaya. Anyways, since he's gone now, thank you guys for making it this far in the video. Now before I get to the usual outro stuff, I want to say, make sure you go over to Avataryyaya's channel, which I will be leaving in the description and in the very last outro part of this video. He is the one who of course helped me out with this video, and that's the main reason why this took so long to come out. On Yaya's channel, he does a lot of anime content as well as Super Smash Bros, and he's definitely going to be doing a lot of stuff for Smash Ultimate, so if you are hyped for that and you want to see some content about that, as well as different anime like My Hero Academia, Jump Force, Naruto, Dragon Ball, all around the works of the anime world, go over to his channel and you will not be disappointed. I've also done a video with him on his channel a while back where he reviewed The World Ends With You, and I'll have that in the outro section of this video as well, so make sure you go check that out too. But anyways, my goodness, this took so long to come out. And the reason why is because I was doing this as a collab, and that's mainly the special surprise for this. There will be some times where I will do these videos as a collab, and because I'm working with someone else, that's the reason why it's going to take a longer time, because we both have to make time to actually do the voicing for these. We both have to agree over the script. If we both haven't played the game, we gotta play the game to both give our fair thoughts on everything. One or both of us could just be busy at the time. There's a lot of different factors that come into trying to do these as collabs, but I feel like doing them will work out just fine. But finally I can stop hyping up this review, because I've been hyping it up since October and it's now December. So yeah, that's not exactly the best thing to be doing. Now for any other collabs I do, I will try my best to make sure I get them out faster, so that way I'm not hyping them up anymore. That, or I just might not tell you that I'm doing a collab for it, but who knows. Now in case you saw my Chicken Little review, which is the one I did before this, I did say that I'm going to be doing the Polar Express after this, and yes, that is still going to be happening, and I would like to have that uploaded on Christmas Eve. Mainly because I just feel like it's really fitting, both for the movie purposes and as well as the holidays, plus that gives me a lot of time to play Smash Ultimate, so yeah. But regardless, thank you guys for watching this video, and again, make sure you go to Avataryyaya's channel. Again, it's in the description and in the very outro of this video. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as share with your friends, so we could potentially hear about their stories with this game. But until next video, take care.